long enough. So on your note of battery, in essence, you're kind of saying, hey, when you're generating more than you're actually using, where's that energy going? And that is kind of what this simple graphic's trying to display, where we stay grid tied. Like even people that get batteries, we're yet to do a truly off-grid system, because trying to maintain, unless you actually really dwindle your energy use to something pretty small, trying to maintain your normal life desires with no grid connected, becomes a scary feat to make sure you're taking care of all the peak load moments and all that. So really the name of the game is when you're generating in the middle of the summer, in the middle of the day, you're generating way more than enough electricity than you might be even looking to use in-house at that moment, and the extra spillover does get sent back to the grid for a temporary credit. That credit varies depending on if you're residential and commercial, but I have the next 6 slides that go into detail about how the commercial one works. Should I dig in that direction? Okay, I had it ready in case I figured this would be something that comes up. Cool. So then the name of the game is called distributed generation. If you were to Google it, that's just the fancy term for the credit system. Almost all the utilities have moved on to that at this point. The old version of this was net metering, if you'd heard of net metering prior to this, but the new one is called distributed generation because it's just a way of saying, hey, the credit we're going to give you isn't going to quite equal what you pay when you have to get it. That's why it's great when you use the energy the moment you generate it. And this will showcase that a little bit. So you guys recognize these are the funny numbers from your electric bill. This person was using 5,349 kilowatt hours a month that month, and they're getting charged all these rates at that metric. So when you add all those up, that gets you to about 16.5 cents. So that's another way of saying that is if you went solar and you generate electricity and you use it in-house without it ever reaching the grid, it saves you from ever purchasing that same 16.5 cents. It's saving you the full amount. When you do have excess in the middle of the day and you're storing for credits to be used in the winter or at nighttime, that's when it turns into a distributed generation chart, where this is about 10 cents per kilowatt hour if you're on one of these 2 rate plans. These are the most common commercial rate plans. If you're a giant factory and you're on demand charges, that becomes a whole different ballgame. So maybe if you talk to me separately if that's the case with you. And then, so between those 2 metrics, we're either 16.5 or 10. That's how much you're saving per kilowatt hour generated. If you got a proposal from me, it can fluctuate a little bit, but I'll usually be somewhere right smack dab in the middle, because that's usually about the average, but it depends on your business model. But if you have a lot of your employees only here during the daytime, that helps make sure that most of that's hopefully at least half of that's being used in-house without being sent back to the grid. And the other half is getting the 10-cent credit that will be used other times. But that's the spiel on the credits. That doesn't totally, doesn't totally answer the battery part though. Battery is more of a residential thought at this point.